Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I wanted to record a short little forward to the upcoming episode. I took last week off because I moved, so that was a lot. I'm now understandably a little under the weather. It was a lot of goodbyes. It was very emotional. I left London, I left the UK, and I am currently in Ireland, where I will be indefinitely as I work my way back into the EU. There's a lot to figure out, lots of new beginnings on the back of what was a lot of endings over the last few weeks. So, on that note, I wanted to dedicate this episode to my late friend and fellow therapist, Anna, whose funeral I attended last month. The upcoming episode I recorded on Thursday, July 3rd, 2025, which was the day after her funeral. I was understandably very raw and emotional and really just wanted to honor her and her memory and to thank her for her support and everything she did for me and everyone that we trained with and the countless other lives that she touched. So yeah, to honor her memory, I recorded a short tribute episode to her and how she impacted my life. She also was very supportive of me launching Career Congregation and was very excited for me when I finally launched this podcast, as it was something I talked about doing for quite a while we were training to be therapists. Anna is someone who really embodied what it meant to live life to the fullest and to take big, bold risks and not look back. So this episode is for you, dear Anna. Welcome, everyone. I am joining you this week with a bit of a heavy heart, as yesterday I spent at the funeral of a friend and colleague, peer of mine, Anna. So I'm going to dedicate this episode to wonderful Anna and her memory. And I've thought a lot about my relationship with her and things that she said to me, as you do when you go to someone's funeral. Anna and I met when I started training to become a therapist. We met on our foundation course together, and then we completed the foundation course and we went on and we did the diploma together. And, anyone that you go through this training with, you get to know very, very well. It actually makes for kind of a complicated relationship with the people that you trained with, because you literally know everyone's stuff, like their deepest, darkest stuff, and you watch people grow and work through things during the training. And it makes it kind of almost a lot to continue to maintain such a regular contact with someone post-training. So Anna was very, very dear to me and everyone that I trained with. Her story is really special and powerful. So I can't think of any other reason to really, embrace life and do the career that you want to do. Don't waste your time doing something that you don't like. So Anna's story is that it was later in her life that she realized she wanted to be a therapist, and so she started the training. We met in early 2021, and it was right at the beginning of our course that she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And she knew that it was going to be a hell of a ride. And unlike what I think most people would do, I think most people confronted with the treatment plan that she knew she was going to have to suffer through, I think most people would have not done the training, but she was really determined to become a therapist and to get qualified. So she stuck with it. And she was brilliant and so hardworking. Her work ethic was, honestly, she was a model student and so smart and so inquisitive and challenged every theory that we learned and was never afraid to volunteer, for demonstrations and any training exercises that we had. She was very direct, and it's no bullshit. When you're training to be a therapist, one of the things that you have to look at and consider in your relationships with your clients, and then it makes you reflect on your own relationships, is being congruent. So, if words and actions aren't aligning, or if it doesn't add up, So Anna was really good at calling things out when they weren't congruent. Yeah, she was wonderful. So she pushed through all of our training and, the 100+ hours of clinical practice, and then started her own private practice, which she worked in for the better part of a year, before she took a turn and there were no more treatment options left for her. She would never complain or tell us if she was in pain, even at times when she had visibly lost so much weight. And she would come to class after chemo. Sorry, this is going to be an emotional episode for me, but I just think it's important to honor her and share her memory and how much she touched so many people's lives. Yeah, she never complained, and she really she found her calling, and she was gonna do it no matter what. So when we finished our training, she went on to do another post-grad certificate in trauma. And we did like a weekend course together around like nature therapy. And that was the last time I saw her in person. And she was doing really quite well then. And I think we were all really excited because we had all just qualified and we couldn't wait to open our practices and go out into the world and become therapists. So we all, kind of went our separate ways. Some people kept in touch, some people didn't. And Anna and I followed each other on socials, and she knew how much I wanted to work with a podcast or get involved in podcasts. And so she was so supportive of me when I launched Career Congregation, and a very active commenter and liker of my posts and stories. I really respect her. So getting, words of affirmation from her mean a lot. And yeah, I didn't realize that her health had taken such a turn. And when I got the news 2 weeks ago that she had passed, I was floored. Absolutely floored. So I'm dedicating this episode to her, and I just think that it's so important for anyone out there who is suffering through a career that they don't love, or in a relationship that isn't right for them, to not do that. Anna lived her life to her absolute fullest, and she demanded that of everyone around her. When she knew what she wanted, she set her eye on it, and she did that. And I remember in our foundation, her saying to me, so when we started our training, she just was so supportive of me. You learn everything about each other when you do this training together, and relationship stuff comes up, and I was in a situation that was not making me very happy, but I was struggling to walk away from it. And she was just like, Meghan, you are so brilliant and beautiful. She was like, don't settle. And it really hit me when she said it, the way she said it. There was very, she was older than me. And so I think I felt a lot of maternal energy from her. And, she is very sadly left behind her adoring husband and 3 beautiful children. So she is very maternal, and I really felt that from her. So it was her belief in me, and just the high esteem that she held me in. It's really important that people feel that from their peers, and I know that she thought highly of me and respected me, and I felt very much the same for her. So thanking her for her support. She was so kept her pain hidden, so it was a bit of a shock to everyone when she did take a turn for the worst. So I just want to say, don't ever settle in a career or a relationship or a life choice that isn't aligned for you. You really don't know how much time you have, and everything can change in a second. So there's no greater reason to step out through your fear, out of your comfort zone, and do whatever it is that your soul is yearning for. There's no greater reason than the fact that you will die one day. And I can think of nothing worse than regretting not doing something. And it was really wonderful to hear from Anna's family and all of her friends from over the years how fully she lived her life and how she just showed up 110% to absolutely everything. Coming to class and writing papers and working with clients after having chemo in the morning and going home and being a mother and wife, and just incredible. She was an incredible woman. So thank you, Anna, for the influence that you left for all of us, and your memory will be a very strong one for me, and everyone whose lives you touched. So thank you. To Anna, rest in peace, and see you next week, everyone.